Good morning, welcome to Songbird Homestead. I'm Kimberly. I am a backyard-ish homesteader. My husband and I own on about 3/4 of an acre up in the town of Northeast. That is the town's name. That's also where it is located. I often joke that the founders of the community weren't very creative with the name because we are literally in the northeast part of Maryland, almost to the Delaware, Pennsylvania line, that little corner, top of the Chesapeake Bay. We've been here for a little over a year. We do love it here. Because we've been here for a little over a year, last year we moved like the middle of June-ish. So last year we didn't really have a full season. This year we have our soil and grass underneath our feet, so to speak, and we are learning all about this area, this climate, the pests that are here. I am dealing with a lot of pests that I didn't have to deal with at our old place, right? So it's been challenging a little bit, but we have had a pretty good season so far. I think we're at the beginning of August, which means it is time for a full garden tour. I don't know that I'll do a full tour, to be honest, just because it is August. We've had a lot of extreme weather, a lot of really hot heat index up into the upper, or not the upper hundreds, but up in over 100 degrees a lot of days, which means we've also had intermittent rain showers. It is cloudy this morning. I do think we're going to be getting some the clouds are rolling in, and I think we're going to be getting some thunder showers. Me personally, I love it hot. The humidity, my hair doesn't do well in the heat. The humidity, I'm an August baby, and I always joke that sometimes I am like a lioness because my hair with the color and the humidity, it's all crazy. So anyway, yay, happy birthday. Like I said, it's my birthday month, but like I said, August, the garden's been pretty productive, so let's go see what it has to offer. Seems like I always start with my herb bed when I do a garden tour, and probably the reason for that is because I feel like the herb garden is one of the things that you get the most bang for your buck. Me personally, if you're growing a garden, it means you want to cook, or you're going to learn to cook, or you already are cooking. And herbs, they don't take up a lot of space. Hello, little guy. They don't take up a lot of space, but they do provide a lot. Just this little bit of basil here, would do a lot of good in seasoning stuff. So I think that's why I start with the herb garden, because I think it's so beneficial. You see, I do grow a lot of basil. In my other videos, I talked about that. Basil is something that I don't know. It's very easy to propagate, and I just keep growing it. It seems. Hey, very nice. And you'll see, I do let my basil go to seed. Here's a perfect example of why. One, I grow more than I can use. Yes, I could preserve it, and we do, but the pollinators love it. So some for me, some for them. They do their work. Look, he even has that's pretty cool. See the pollen on him? Very nice. Yep. A lot of this stuff I was able to overwinter. This is a Genovese basil. This is a lemon basil. I wish you could smell that. Oh, it smells incredible. That is grass right there. Rosemary, this is lemon balm. Oh my goodness, smells like cleaner. I can put that in my vinegar with some lemon, and it acts as a good natural cleaner. More basil, as you can see, chives, my mint, which is doing great. More basil. This is my oregano. Now, the thing about oregano and a lot of herbs, if you let them bush out, like for me, we can't really use all that oregano. I still have oregano dry from last year. So what I do is I will let it get big, and then I'll cut it off and I'll give it to my chickens, because it is good for their digestive system. A lot of the herbs are, and they actually really, really love it. So definitely an herb garden just for cooking. And really, if you don't have any space, you can put these in a couple pots on your deck, and grow them in your window. If you're in an apartment, put 2 or 3 pots of whatever kind of herb that you're going to use on your little apartment deck. It really makes a difference in your cooking, I think. Plus, it's really good for you. Not to mention, have you tried to buy herbs at the store? Yeah, very expensive. Or in the farmer's market, very expensive for what you get. Okay, so one thing that you'll learn about me is rules or guidelines. You know, I don't really do things often by the book. And it's funny because I've been doing this for years, and now it's something that I see recommended all over the place, and that's interplanting. So sometimes, like for example, like I have a tomatillo I'm about to show you now. I have a watermelon bed here. The tomatillo was getting big. It had to go in the ground. I just threw it in with my watermelon. You know, yes, there are books and it'll say, oh, don't plant A or veggie A with veggie B because they don't like. I don't know. And maybe there's some truth to that, but I don't get caught up in that. I just interplant, you know, for a variety of reasons. One, sometimes I just run out of space. Like I said, I had this tomatillo. It had to go somewhere. I had room in my watermelon bed, so that's where it went. And it's doing pretty good. Let me show you. So this watermelon bed, highly successful. It was my garlic bed last year. Garlic goes in October around Halloween, right when my watermelon will come out. Perfect. When I pulled my garlic out, I put my watermelons in, and boom, they're sharing the space. Quite lovely. But this is my tomatillo that I, let's see, it's got some pests have been hitting it. No tomatillos yet, but that's okay. But yeah, so they're in here. I just stick it in there. If I get tomatillos, great. If not, well, you know. But you can see my watermelon is taking over. It's all... This is my husband's, like, one of his fears, or one of the things he's always on about, how much watermelon takes over, and they do. Look. Oh, but look at this little guy. Look, hi. This is a Kaho watermelon. I believe it's a Japanese watermelon that originated in China. I stuck this guy up here because he was on the ground. Might have to pick him soon. It gets to be about 3 or 4 pounds. We did pick one that we ate, like this guy here. Yeah, that's about as big as that guy's gonna get. So it's just me and my husband here. If the kids come out for dinner, I can pick more than one. But it has like a salmon, like a light orangish color inside. Not real sweet, but it's perfect for 2 people. Here's another one. Oh, and there's another one. So this bed has been really... I think there's some more up here. So, you know, I'm really excited. This is our first year growing these guys. Here we go. Yep. There's another one there. So it looks like I'm going to be able to pick at least one a week all the way through, well, whenever they stop. But I'm really excited about these. Like I said, perfect for 2 people. Kaho watermelon. I think I got them from Baker Creek. But really happy with the way this melon bed turned out. Okay, so I mentioned interplanting. Here's an example of that. Look at these guys. Look at these zinnias, guys. Look how big they are. They're huge. I love zinnias. I'm realizing zinnias might be my favorite plant or my favorite flower. But you can see, and I'll show you here. Aren't they lovely? Just lovely. And this is an example. Even though it looks like this bed is all zinnias, it's definitely not. I got peppers in here. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, these are habaneros. I picked a couple earlier. Let's see. Yeah, there's another one that's starting to turn. But my husband will be very happy because I picked a couple of really nice habaneros. They're in a basket somewhere. Who knows? Found it. So these are our habaneros I picked. I can throw them in a thing of chili or something. My husband's going to be super excited about that. Let me take this basket with me. I have a feeling we're going to need it. Here's another bed. And I apologize, I'm all over the place, but when I come out in the garden and do a little walk around, this is kind of what I do every morning. Or not every morning because I am at work. Hey there. Yeah, bees are everywhere. This is why one of the big reasons I interplant. You can see I have a couple things here. I have my more zinnias. Very nice. But in addition to that, I also have my basil. And again, this is the reason why I let it go to seed. This is, like I said before, more basil than I can use, but the pollinators love it. It's good for both of us. These are ancho peppers. So these, I will leave on here. These we're going to dry. We're going to let get red, then we're going to dry them and turn them into a powder for enchilada sauce. So one thing about peppers, if you don't know this, so let me show you. These are our green peppers right here. Right, so here's our whole green pepper plant. We have quite a few. You can see here. This is my golden California peppers. They're going to turn yellow eventually. Right now they're still green. I did have some that turned orange. The orange sun sweet pepper, if you can read that. But they will, like I said, I can pick these off of here, you know, and eat them green. That's fine. If I leave them on the vine, they will eventually turn yellow or orange or red, so, or even purple. But if you have green peppers, or if you bought peppers that are supposed to be a certain color and they haven't turned yet, peppers do take a very long time. Like I said, my anchos I just showed you, I'm just gonna leave them on there. Peppers just need heat and long hot days, a lot of sun, you know, in order to turn. And I think that the longer you leave them on there, I think the more heat that they have. But you know, we don't mind. But like I said, if I need peppers, I can come out here and just pick them green and eat them like that. And we've done that. We do that. It's not a big deal. Here's another interplanting I have. Actually, I think all my beds are interplanted at this point. But these are our tomatillas. Look at that. Of course, I'm in with the bees. But I don't care. And the bees don't seem to mind either. Yeah, look at that. I don't know. There's something so beautiful, you know, about a wild garden bed. It just, you know, I don't know. Really makes me happy. And the benefits, like I said, the interplanting, it gives a diversity to your soil. It will also, you know, draw in pollinators, and just, you know, there's an in tandem effort between the different plants. You know, some plants are putting different nutrients in, some are taking different nutrients out. It just creates a symbiotic relationship, you know, and the diversity in your soil and all of that, which is really, really healthy for your soil. So, and that's another thing. Like, this is our second year. The first row of beds is the second year. The first row is the second year. The second row is this first year. We just put those in. So that soil is still getting amended. We do have compost. I'll show you that. That works pretty well. But, you know, we'll add that in, you know, once the season draws to a little bit of a close. Let me show you this guy here. Again, I'm all over the place. I apologize. Okay. So here's another bed that's got a little bit of everything inside. I didn't have room for this San Marzano plant, so I just, oh look, we have a little guy down here. Let's get that pet. I'll put that in our basket. So I just threw that San Marzano in there because it's better than me just not growing it at all, so I threw it in there. This is actually a volunteer. Now, what it looks like, it's a pumpkin. I've never planted pumpkins. Actually, I've never planted pumpkins anywhere. But what's funny is I did have a volunteer pumpkin plant in my strawberries last year, and that's what that looks like it could be. I have some squashes, but not that kind. I have winter acorn squashes, which that doesn't look like that's what that is. And then these guys, gosh, is this more? Oh yeah, there's more tomatoes down here. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can see I've got some. It's August. I've got some pruning to do. Let's see if we can get this guy off of here. Oh no, something got to him. So yeah, something got this guy. So we'll put him in the compost. But isn't this neat? I love when this happens. See that? How the tomato, when it's close to the, I don't know if you can see that. When it's close to the ground, it starts reaching and like creating new roots. But yeah, this is a hot mess. It's my hot mess bed. So let's take these guys. Let's see, let's add these to wherever the basket is. But yeah, these are my, you know, I come to these beds all the time. Well, actually, I come to all of them all the time. My artichoke, my peppers. This guy right here, these are my, oh, look at that. I forget what that's called. Queen lime, I forget. Beautiful. Anyway, don't get sidetracked or distracted, Kimberly. Come on, focus. These are cayenne peppers. These are specifically, it's called a dragon cayenne. And look at that. They are in there, like tons of them. So a little bit about dragon cayennes. Like I said, this was the first thing that I grew for my husband. I picked up a plant from Home Depot, I think. Gosh, I don't know what year it might have been, 2014 or 15 maybe. And it was very prolific. He loved it. He likes hot stuff, hot spicy food. So we do grow a lot of peppers, as you can see. Him and our sons like it, like hot food. Our future son-in-law, my daughter's getting married in about 6 weeks, so that's exciting, but they like hot food. So yeah, so we do grow a lot of peppers. These guys, like I said, they did such a good job that first year that he was like, what is this, and why are these peppers so hot? Why are they so, you know, yummy and tasty? They have really good flavor. And I'm like, well, that's what happens when you grow it yourself. And that was kind of the, you know, I think a light bulb moment for him. He didn't know that when you grew your own food that it would have that taste. So he then was like, okay, well, grow these every year for me. I'm pretty sure that's when he decided to marry me. But regardless, he probably would have married me anyway. But regardless, the following year I could not find these. So I chased this. I just pulled one off of my hand. I chased this elusive. For some reason I couldn't find them, and then I did find the seeds a couple years ago. But regardless, that kind of started us on our journey now. Now, something that I do like to do with these, in addition to growing them, and he eats them just fresh. Usually I'll leave them on the plant so that they turn red. Like I said, I think they have more heat that way. But at the end of the season, we usually end up with so many of these. Even with the amount of people that like hot foods, because we grow so many peppers, we end up with enough to keep through the winter, which is kind of the goal for me. But what I'll do is I'll take these, they'll be red obviously, at the end of the season, and I string them up and I hang them in my kitchen, and then all winter he just pulls them off and they're fine. They're drying, they're in a drying state, which is fine. So he'll take them and, you know, use them. Now what happened this year is we had so many that I guess about a month ago I took the ones that were hanging down, because we have fresh right now. So what I did with the ones that were hanging, I put them in a grinder that I have. I ground them up, and then it was a sweet and spicy Thai dipping sauce. So it was vinegar, sugar, I think salt maybe, and then a couple cups of these pulverized and ground up. And I water bath canned it, and it turned into like it's a hot dipping sauce. It's not as thick as I would have liked it, so I'm going to have to play with that recipe, maybe add a thickener agent to it or some kind of thickener, or cook it longer, which I still think it needs something to get thick. Yeah, so anyway, so now we have a couple dozen of those jars canned, or, you know, jarred up in there, that we'll have all winter, which is nice. So we're adding to our storage. You know, we're producing food that we can continue to eat all summer fresh. We have it dry that we can eat it off all winter. And then I'm also, in addition, having, you know, the ability and the benefit of making something that we can have, you know, all year, which is nice. So these guys, the dragon cayennes, not the same thing as a regular cayenne. I don't know the difference, but for some reason my husband just loves these dragon cayennes. So I would love to say so do I, and take a bite and show you that, but on camera that wouldn't be too good. I'll probably start, you know, spitting it out, foaming at the mouth, you know, steam will come out of my ears. So I'm going to refrain from doing that. But yeah, dragon cayennes are, I think, like I said, they were a gateway thing into getting into gardening, or, you know, growing our own food. All right, so now I'm gonna head over. I have my basket. I do have this one little tomato. I'm gonna go over here and show you our compost. Oh, here's something that's fun before we get to the compost. Let's see. Asparagus. If you've never seen asparagus grow, this is it. Now we do want to make a bigger patch. It's a pretty puny patch. So I'll probably add some, but you can see typically it comes out of the ground. Oh, actually, is that one right there? Where am I? Here we are. I can't tell. That might be a root. No, that's an asparagus spear. Sometimes they can be white. Oh, here's one here. Get out of town. Look at that. So that's how asparagus grows. And then if you don't cut it, which we didn't because it was the first year, we wanted to let them get stronger. Oh, I see a couple of them. There's another one right here. That's pretty cool. But if you don't let them, or if you don't pick them, then they grow into these plumes. So that's what I did. Now this was a hot mess, so I did just clean it out, and we are going to add more this fall. But yeah, maybe I'll cut these. We only have a couple though. My husband will be tickled. Yep, and there's another one. That's how they grow. Yeah, and they grow pretty fast. Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, it's my asparagus. Looks pretty nice. Pretty happy with that. So here's our compost. We've been, as you can see, my husband, he's so proud of his compost. He built this from pallets, which is pretty impressive. You know, we're trying to be resourceful and use what we have and that sort of thing. So you'll see our homestead is kind of a patchwork of new and repurposed and used and resourcefulness. Look at that. So we started composting. Oh gosh, maybe I should pull up a chair for this one. We started composting a couple years ago, just veggie scraps and stuff in our kitchen. And now, now we have we have a little thing on our counter, which maybe I'll do a video about that one day. I'm gonna have to. That's gonna be a whole separate video. But we have a video. We have a container on our counter. We have a thing right outside of our house, on our deck. It's a very small little metal trash can. Again, look for another video coming up about that. I'm thinking I'll do that for stuff. And then we have this guy here. We have 3 bins. We're only using 2. We tried the tumbler compost. My kids got me a tumbler compost, and that was good for a while. But for for the quantity of stuff, we're always, especially this time of the year, we're always cutting veggies up. Like, I don't even say every day, like every time we cook or eat something, we're cutting up some kind of, we're peeling an apple, we're cutting a cucumber, we got zucchini and, cutting up tomatoes or what have you, cracking eggs, we use our eggshells, the coffee grinds, all those things we put in compost. So it seems like every time we walk in the kitchen, we're producing some form of something that can go into our compost. So I'll show you this guy here. This is our bed that's resting. This is my pitchfork. Let's see. Yeah, but you can see this has probably been in the works since the fall, I'd say. And then here's our other one. This is the bed that we've been adding to. You can see there's some eggshells and there's a green pepper. That bed is the one that we're continually adding to. That one is resting. So what that means is your compost needs time to break down. So it needs time to become compost. You start with, different things, vegetable peels, eggshells, coffee grounds, like I said, so many things, and that's their state. But once they break down and combine, that's when you end up with that organic matter that can go into your soil. In order to do that, you have to let it rest. So this one here, See that? Oh, my pitchfork. Fun facts, I asked for this for Christmas like 2 or 3 years ago. A pitchfork. Who asked for pitchforks for Christmas? This girl. But anyway, regardless of that, fun fact, the bed that's resting, we won't add anything to that because we want to give it time to fully break down. I have ants on me from that pitchfork. Not okay. There we go. Sorry, this is a real life video, guys, so expect the unexpected. But yeah, so that one there is resting, so we won't add anything to that. We'll just keep turning it, adding water, checking the temperature. You do need, the higher the temperature, well, at a certain temperature threshold, it will break down all the, the matter and stuff like that. The other one that I showed you, the second one, that's the one that we're continually, like today when I empty my compost, I will, I'll put that stuff into that compost. I have the one on my deck that I mentioned. I will put that in this guy right here, and then I'll turn it and then get that stuff underneath. Sorry, I have an ant on me again, or still. But anyway, that's our compost. Let's see, get a little shot here. Yeah, very nice. The middle one, I guess if we had enough stuff, we would do 3 stages, but right now we don't have the need for that, so we just have the 2. Let's grab the basket. Oh, no. Let's throw this guy. Whoop, here we go. I'm actually going to cover him up, bury him up a little bit. It's kind of hard with one hand. There we go. So this next bed that I want to show you, this is my favorite bed. In the other videos, you'll see that it was a little bit in better condition. We do have, I think I mentioned earlier that we have some pests that we haven't dealt with before. Squash, vine borers, probably. I'm anticipating, or I'm surmising that that's what happened to my zucchini. We're still picking some stuff off of here, but it's on its way down. It's on its way out, and I'll show you. First of all, my beans. Now, my beans I picked in we could. If you're going to grow food, you need to be prepared to process it and harvest it. And fun fact, confession time, I did not do with my beans what I should have, which is very unfortunate because I was very excited about these. But what I'm going to do, and now it just rained, so it's kind of hard to see. Let me get one that's dry, maybe-ish. Maybe not. So inside of these pods, let's see, are the beans. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these dry, and then I'm going to, oh, where is it? See that? I'm going to let these all dry, and then I'm going to pick them, and then I'm going to shell the beans, and then I'm going to cook them and see what happens, right? So, our cucumbers are doing pretty well. Let's pick this guy. I was in the middle of picking these. So there you go. Some of those cucumbers, you'll see these are not good. So I have 2 of those. I'm going to give those to my girls. That's one huge benefit of having chickens is once anything that you can't eat, I can either give to the chickens or I can put it in my compost, also. Here we go. How's this? What's this? The loofah has entered the chat. Look at that guy. So we do grow loofah. I grew it a couple years ago, 2022 we grew it, and we were like, oh my gosh. And every time someone sees it, they're like, what in the world is that? So it's loofah. It feels a little soft-ish, so I don't know what's going to happen with that, but, let's go here. What in the world? But, yeah, you can see, here's an example of life and death. So that's a winter acorn squash, but the vine itself is dying, so I'm going to leave this on here until it's no good anymore, so I can't. Watermelon, we have more. This is a Catania melon. Now I am very I'm ready to pick this guy, but it's been like that for a couple weeks, and now I'm a little bit, I don't know. I think soon, but maybe not yet. That's my other watermelon bed. You can see my zucchini there. We have a bunch of watermelon here. This is a Persian cantaloupe. Looks ready, right? Yeah, well, I have one just like it. Yeah, look at that, see? That's not supposed to happen, so I'm putting off ripping all this stuff out because I'm trying to get as much as I can out of it, but we'll see. But this is a Persian cantaloupe. It looks ready, but I picked one for dinner with the kids the other night. A couple of my kids were here for dinner, and it was not right. It's our winter acorn squash. There's another winter acorn squash. He's getting heavy, so I supported him. Yeah. There's another cantaloupe, small Persian melon. As you can see, they're going crazy. This is a bitter melon. I've gotten nothing off of this yet. So I don't know about that. But I have vines everywhere. I planted way too many vine things in one space. These trellises have been a complete game changer. I don't think this guy's gonna make it. Ooh, okay, Mr. B, I see you. Yeah, this guy's not gonna make it. So I'm gonna take him off to, yeah. See if I can hit the compost from here. No, I couldn't. Big Country, our resident groundhog, will pick him up, I promise. I'll scoop him up. Oh gosh, look at this guy, see? And I come in here every day and somehow I still miss stuff. Look at that. How in the world did I miss that? Nope. My girls will get this guy. Okay, that's my girls. This was my patty pan squash. Did a really good job. Oh, do I have patty pans down here? I do. I didn't know that. Yeah, we had a really busy week, so evidently I neglected checking on some things. I know I have a bunch of zucchini there I gotta grab. I love patty pan squash. It's my favorite. Here's how it grows. See it? There we go. Some mushrooms, but see the vine? Yeah, see? Yeah, something's doing a number on all my squashes, which is unfortunate, but you know what? That's part of the gardening. You know, now I'll know for next year what pests I'm dealing with. Yep, there's my patty pans. So it seems like this time of the year, of course, it gets really, you know, it's hot. We have mosquitoes. I'm gonna put this in here in my basket. You know, I'm sure everyone has mosquitoes, and there's bugs and the heat. And then, like I said, it's just the extreme temperatures. I do work full-time outside of doing the homestead. My husband and I both work for a Fortune 100 company full-time. We live about 45 minutes from work, so we have some long days. So sometimes, now I am home. I have plenty of daylight left, so I do have time to do a lot of this, but life, right? So sometimes it is hard. I try to make it a priority to come out here. I do come out here every day. You know, of course I have to take care of my chickens and stuff, but I try to make it a priority to come out here, at least handle and do and pick some weeds and just check on things, just to keep an eye on it. It's just, you know, keep my finger on the pulse of things and see, you know, where things are at. But sometimes stuff gets missed, right? 2 baskets, and that's not even with intentional picking. But, you know, even though I have a lot of stuff that's not doing so well, I still have enough stuff to sustain and, you know, that we're eating off of. One thing that I try to do, and this is just a personal goal of mine, sometimes I deal better with little goals. I make it a point every day to eat something out of my garden, something I produced. Whether that's an herb, whether it's, you know, lemon balm for my tea, or, you know, herbs for cooking, or cucumber salad for dinner, or, you know, saute some zucchini, or whatever it is. You know, I try to every day, you know, slice up tomato. Something I've been doing in the morning, which I love. For breakfast, I will in the morning And people are always a little like, how do you have time for this in the morning? It takes no time at all. But I will fry up 2 eggs. I cut like two leaves of basil and a little San Marzano tomato, or some of my cherry tomatoes, which I'll show you them in a minute. And I put it on my egg with feta. It's amazing. So in a little Ziploc bag, what I'll do is I'll cut up a tomato, cut up my basil, fill my feta in, put that in a bag. And then in a little container, I fry my 2 eggs, put them in a container, or scramble them, whatever. And then once I get to work, I heat up my eggs. I add my homegrown, pesticide-free tomatoes and basil on there with my feta, and it tastes like a gourmet meal, you know. And nothing against if you want to do this, but, you know, people are rolling in with their, you know, $8, $9, $10, $11, you know, breakfast meals from, you know, the local fast food joint. You know, I'm not doing that. And that's something that I'm trying to not do. I don't want to, and it's okay sometimes. I, you know, I love a good chicken mini, but I'm, you know, really, we've been working on not doing that. So, you know, but again, that helps me to hit my goal of, you know, every day trying to eat something that we produce. And it's a small goal, but it's a very doable goal. I don't even have to work, or it's really no effort. It just, you know, something that comes easy because, one, we do have an abundance of it. And 2, the more I do it, the more creative I'm getting with it. And it is becoming easier and easier. And it's been really just a really slow, inclusive, integrating all of this stuff into our regular daily diet, which is, you know, and really into all of our meals, which again is why we end up with so much stuff for our compost, because we're, you know, like I said, I feel like we're constantly cutting and picking and peeling and, you know, processing stuff, which is pretty cool. So it's creating a, you know, a closed loop, permaculture system, which is, again, one of our goals as well. But in the meantime, look at this guy. Isn't that beautiful? Zinnias. Look at that. Even this guy, like, closed up. That's just lovely. All my flowers. Yeah, all right, let's go here and take a look at my chickens. They see me, they're watching me, and they're like, hello. So if you've been following me from, you know, the beginning, which sounds funny because it really hasn't been that long, some chickens were like a long-term goal of ours. We could have had them at our old place, but we didn't. Timing is everything, so we waited. We have a smallish flock, you know, not that many, a little more. Good morning, Rufus. So that's Rufus. He ruined my story because what I was going to say is, we started with, you know, some. When we ordered them, we ended up with a bonus chick from McMurray Hatchery. We thought we were getting all girls because we did want laying hens, but clearly, as you hear by my rooster crowing, we ended up with a rooster. So a little sad. I'm sorry, sweet boy. A little bit of a sad story. We are going to have to say goodbye to Rufus. He is going, I have a coworker who has more property than I do, and a much bigger flock, and the capacity and the legality to have a rooster. We're not supposed to have a rooster here. We're not supposed to have a rooster here. I don't think in this area that anyone would mind. The people across the street, they had a rooster. We don't hear their chickens anymore, so I'm not sure what happened, if they processed them or something got to them. I don't know. But I don't want fertilized eggs. I'm sorry. So I think eventually, my husband has mentioned getting meat chickens, but I don't know how we feel about that yet. So we just wanted them for eggs. So rooster is really not going to do us any favors. I see you. Oh my goodness, she's waiting for me. So fortunately, the person, like I said, who is, you know, it's a coworker of mine, real cool dude. He's going to take Rufus. I think this is a Polish crested rooster, which is unfortunate because he is super cute. He's one of our favorites, but we just can't keep him. And what's really funny is because he is so little, it's just funny to see him in there with our birds. The girls are they're probably like, I don't know, 4 to 5 pounds. They're about 14 weeks old. We got them the beginning to the middle of April. I'm hoping in the next about a month or so they should start laying, maybe. We'll see. Right now they're not paying any rent, so pretty soon the eggs will have to come. That'll be their rent. But what's funny is the girls, sometimes they'll be flapping and running and flocking around the coop, and Rufus will, like, I don't know if he gets enough of it, but he'll be like, ah, 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 and then they all settle down. Earlier we had some birds of prey that were flying overhead, and I think they must know the girls are here. They can hear them, they can see them. And he started crowing, and they all ran into the corner and got quiet, and he kind of like stood on the outside like he was protecting them. Now it's funny because he's little and they're much bigger than he. Maybe he weighs 2 pounds. I'll show you him in a second. He's super cute. He's very sweet, but he's going to go to a good home, you know. But yeah, so anyway, let's take a look at these girls and Rufus. So I guess I've been come to be known as the treat lady, because they see me coming and they're like, where are my treats? Hello, hello, hi honey, hello Stevie. Look, here we go. Yeah, they're all, yep, you're gonna peck on my boots. I didn't bring any treats. I gave you your treats earlier. I know, I have some more. I have a couple cucumbers that you can have, and some zucchini probably. This is Rufus. Hi, Rufus. He's getting his little mask. Hi, Rufus. No, you're not going to crow for us? But you can see he's much smaller than these girls. But he's so handsome. You're so handsome, Rufus. But you can see it's hard for them to see just because of the feathers. I mean, he can see underneath, but, well. Yeah, I don't have any treats, so they're a little bit not happy. My husband did make this coop completely from scratch, which he did a great job. I know, Sassy, you're pretty shy. You camera shy? You want some privacy? That's Fancy, who I was starting to think might be a rooster, but she's not really getting the comb, so I'm not sure. And she hasn't crowed yet, but she's beautiful. I think she's at the top of the pecking order. You hear about a pecking order? I think she's at the top. She's a little bit of a bully. Oh my goodness, okay. Let's see. I try to handle them regularly. Yeah, we might have a rooster here too. I try to handle them regularly, but it's hard now because they're not little. I don't have to pick them at. You don't like it? Okay. They don't really like to be handled, but now what I do is in the morning when I let them out of the coop, as they come out the door, I usually pet them as they're coming out, and that helps me to handle them regularly. No, oh you pecked my finger. So it helps me to handle them, at least pet them, and then have human contact, because I do want them to be still used to being handled a little bit. What? Yeah, they're upset. They're like, why are you in here with no treats? Get out. Again, not laying eggs yet. Probably in about a month, maybe. They're so sweet. They're so sweet. All right, I'm going. I promise I'll come back with some treats, some produce. That's pretty much everything that's growing right now. I mean, everything you saw. I am getting ready to start my fall plants, my cruciferous stuff. So my broccoli, my Brussels sprouts, my cauliflower, some cabbages, that sort of thing. I do want to get them, you know, we are in the beginning of August, so figure 8 weeks to be beginning of October already. Can you believe it? That, you know, we can get them in the ground. So I do want to get them started now. Other things that we're eating right now are, you know, mostly tomatoes, which even, oh, we didn't look at our tomatoes. I'll show them in a second, but tomatoes, which we haven't been getting a whole lot of. Well, we have them, they just haven't gotten ripe. But what I also saw was big country, a groundhog. I'll show you my fence, and the fence is four-sided, but I didn't see any issues happening, so I was leaving the one side open, and then a couple of nights ago, again, my kids were here for dinner, a couple of them, 2 of the kids were here, we have 4 kids. We were talking about, you know, big country, which is our groundhog, and I'm looking out the window, the kitchen window, which overlooks all of this, which is so heavenly for me. But I saw the big country running. My husband saw him the other day, and he had a tomato in his mouth. And we were like, what? So I saw him yesterday, or the other day, so I ran out and chased him. He gets to the edge of my property, and he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, keep running, dude. So now I've been closing that up, which could be why I haven't had as many tomatoes. But I have tomatoes, but a lot of them are still green. But yeah, so cucumbers, zucchini, tomatoes, lots of herbs. I feel like we always have herbs, even in the winter. If you are in a climate where your herbs won't overwinter, what you can do is cover them. I have something called a cloche, C-L-O-C-H-E, and really they're just these plastic bell-looking things that I got from the dollar store a couple years ago. I'll cover them up. Or you can use a milk jug or something like that just to keep the frost off. And herbs are pretty hardy. So yeah, like we do eat herbs all year. Goodness, what else? Lots of squash, you know, lots of, like I said, lots of herbs. We had dill that I've pulled out since, you know, watermelon, you know, really a lot of stuff that I feel like I said, every day we're eating something off out of the garden, which is, again, my goal. I'm hoping, you know, carrots, we've been pulling some carrots. I do have greens. I have Swiss chard and okra over there that I didn't show. I have horseradish in a big tub. That's a side note that I want to process very soon and make horseradish to keep. I love horseradish. But yeah, so that's all that's happening now. Let me go and show you the tomatoes. Let's see, look at that. I do want to take my basket with me. So let's see. Let me show you my fence before I open it. So it's just 4 T-posts. Now we'll probably do a bigger fence. There was a fence that divided this whole area. You'll see that in other videos. We did take it down because we wanted this open space. We're probably going to eventually put the fence all the way around the back perimeter of the place, but until I have some more of this, you know, fencing is very expensive, and we have had to put up a lot of infrastructure already. But in the meantime, what I did was I just closed my trellis area and this area in with this. It's just 4 T-posts. And then this stuff here that I had, I think I did have to buy one more roll, and that's reusable. So right now that's what's closing in my stuff. But I had it open because I didn't see an issue. And again, big country. Here, let's open this guy up. Big country was stealing my tomatoes. So you can see, I've been pruning, but again, it's August, a lot of heat and a lot of rain, which is creating a lot of vines. I have a feeling we're going to end up with some stuff. These are our pear cherry tomatoes, and they just grow. I have more pear tomatoes. Ooh, what was that? Then I can use. I've been dehydrating them. And again, I put these on my eggs in the morning, which is really good. A lot of really good stuff. Yeah, I didn't come out here to pick, but looks like that's what we're gonna do. Oh, I didn't want that one. I wanted that one, but yeah. There are cherry tomatoes in there somewhere. Oh, here we go. They just don't produce as many. As the other ones. This is my Hungarian heart that I got from a plant swap. That's kind of funky looking. But I had a perfect Hungarian heart right here. And that's what Big Country got, both of them. Here's another one, here's a smaller one. Yeah, tomatoes are looking pretty, not great. There's some more. This is a lemon drop. I don't know if this guy's produced anything yet. No, yeah, he hasn't. So, not the best tomato year for us. Oh, here's one here. These are lemon drops. I don't know. Again, that was a swap. Oh, this will tell you how much rain we've gotten. This is probably only about a week and a half. Look at that. Yep. One of my Abe Lincolns. These are all Abe Lincolns. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not true. These are Sunset. So I think they're going to turn orange. We also have some, we do have Abe Lincoln, but we also have Orange Jazz. That's another Sunset. Our Orange Jazz, the heirlooms, they're up here, but I think I have them all picked out right now. So not a whole lot to see here. Sorry, folks. Yeah. Not the best tomato year, like I said. So if you've watched past videos, you'll see that I'm continually, I'm always setting my mug down, and I'm losing it. I find it hours later. My tea's cold. So my husband built me this really cool thing, and I'm so excited. And this is all his idea. Ti amo. He's so cute. Get it, Ti amo. He loves me, which is obvious from this, but yeah. So it really makes it easier for me to keep a hold of my tea, usually. So that's what's happening right now. You know, thanks for stopping in. Whew, I'm sorry I was all over the place. I didn't really have a full plan today of what I was going to be videoing. I just wanted to get out here. It's been about a month, which I know is a long time. But, you know, like I said, life, you know, we do work a full-time job. We have 4 kids. I have a grandson who has had a lot going on. He swims, and and I just want to brag on him for a minute. He came in, he's a natural. You know, some things you're just a natural at, and he just turned 7, and he's been swimming since he did swim lessons when he was a year old, but he's always just been a natural in the water, underwater. He's just always done really well. So he swims for a local swim club-ish thing, and he got invited. He does well. He won, you know, he's coming first, second, third. He's also lost some races, you know, and that's good for him as well. And he handles it. I will say that my daughter and son-in-law, they do a really good job at teaching him sportsmanship and shaking the hand of the other person, whether you win and even if you lose. So it doesn't matter. And he's really good about that. He's a very sweet little boy. But of course, we are completely biased. That's my sweet boy, BB. He calls me BB. That's BB, sweet boy. But anyway, he got invited to the championship for 2 different strokes. And what that means is you have to be in the top 18 of the whole swim club. And there might be, I'm sure, over 1,000 kids, actually, I would say, because it's like 8 or 10 different clubs. I'd have to ask my daughter. But anyway, so he got invited. He was in the top 18 for 2 of the events. One, I think he was in the top 3, almost number 2. But he swam in both of those. He came in 3rd place in the championship, so he won a bronze medal in my eyes. But then the other one he did DQ, but he actually would have. His swim and his stroke was good, but he and I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. I didn't see that it was very obvious, but it looks like he started, if you watch the video, he started just a hair, he jumped just a hair on the whistle, or the alert. So he ended up DQing for that, but that's okay. We were still very proud of him. So anyway, we had that going on, you know, for the month of July and everything. So we just been really, really busy, which is why I haven't done, to circle back, that's why I haven't done another garden tour before now. You know, it's been like 4 weeks, like I said, but so anyway, I thank you for stopping by Songbird Homestead. I'm starting to melt. You know, you can see. I'm not sure what time it is, but I do want to go in. We did have our coffee and tea time this morning, but I do want to go and have some breakfast with my husband. It is a Sunday. Sunday is kind of our day, and we're gonna. I'm not sure what we're gonna get into, so we'll just have to find out. So, and again, thank you for stopping at Songbird Homestead, Kimberly, and happy to have you here.